In the heart of this neighborhood, there used to be a rhythm. It was the sound of a smoker lid clanging shut, the distant strum of a guitar from the backyard stage, and the splash of kids jumping into the pool. This wasn't just a house, it was the local heartbeat. If you lived within 3 blocks, you knew, if the grill was hot and the bar was open, you were home. But in 2024, the rhythm stopped.
Hurricane Ian slammed into Florida, forever changing the state's history. Ian rapidly intensified into a Category 5 storm, after slamming into Cuba as a high-end Category 3. The storm then slightly weakened to a high-end Category 4, but this didn't matter for the people of Florida. Ian slammed into Cayo Costa with sustained winds of 150 miles per hour, devastating the area. Storm surge of 10 to 15 feet and fierce winds over 100 miles per hour virtually destroyed nearly all of Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel Island, Bonita Springs, and Pine Island. Tragically, 150 people were killed by the storm in Florida. Ian inflicted $113 billion in damage, making it the costliest hurricane in Florida's history. Ian is also the 3rd costliest natural disaster in U.S. history, just behind Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Katrina.
Hurricane wind didn't just bring rain, it brought a wall of water that moved with a terrifying, silent speed. 7 hours. That's all it took. In the time it takes to play a doubleheader or cook a rack of ribs, the landscape was erased. The deck where neighbors shared stories. Gone. The bar that served as the neighborhood's unofficial town hall. Submerged. The water didn't just creep, it conquered. It climbed the walls inch by inch until 9 feet of murky, relentless floodwater sat inside the living room. The sanctuary of entertainment had become a casualty of the coast. When the clouds finally parted, the house didn't look like a home anymore, it looked like a memory drowning in mud. Most people would have walked away. They would have taken the insurance check, signed the demolition papers, and found higher ground elsewhere. But memories have deep roots. You can't relocate the soul of a neighborhood. The plan was ambitious, some said impossible. If the water was going to keep coming, the house had to go where the water couldn't reach. It was time to look up. Transformation is rarely fast. It's measured in increments. To save this home, it took 30 hydraulic jacks working in a synchronized mechanical ballet. They began by digging the footers, massive, deep trenches carved out exactly where the new main support columns would stand. These aren't just holes in the ground, they are the anchors for the future. In this neighborhood, you don't just build for the weight of the house. Then came the concrete. Thousands of pounds of wet stone and cement poured into the footers, filling the voids and locking into the landscape. As that concrete cured, it transformed the site from a temporary construction zone back into a permanent residence. Watching the pour, you realize, The jacks gave the house its height, but this concrete gives it its backbone. Every column rising from these footers is a promise that the next time the water rises to 9 feet, it will pass harmlessly underneath the living room floor, leaving the music and the memories high and dry. The weight of a lifetime was resting on steel and fluid. Every move was a calculated risk, 8 inches at a time. The crew watched the levels like hawks, listening to the groan of the timber as it left the earth it had sat on for decades. 8 inches. Stop. Check. Reset. 8 inches again. Over days of precision work, the house slowly climbed toward the sky. It wasn't just being raised. It was being liberated. Today, the house stands 10 feet higher. The bar will open again. The pool will once more reflect a Florida sunset instead of storm debris. We've learned that resilience isn't just about surviving the storm. It's about adapting so the storm can never take what's yours again. The water may come back, but the music isn't stopping. This is more than a documentary about a renovation. This is a story about a house that refused to sink, and the people who decided that the best way to move forward was to move up. It's a strange sight at first. A home suspended, standing on new legs of concrete and steel. The stage is being rebuilt. But from up here, the perspective has changed.